All right, we're coming down to the final video set. Here they're now asking to subtract two fraction problems. Obviously, they are not mixed fractions, and they're actually testing your rules of signs here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of these two negative signs first. So here we go. That looks more like it. My LCM, 9 is 3 and 3. And 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. So my unique factors are 3 and 2, and there are two factors of it. So that looks like 12 times 3, 36. So my LCM looks like it's 36. And what the factor that will make 936 is 4 times the numerator will give me 8. The factor that will make 1236 is 3 times the numerator is 3. So it looks here like the difference between 8 and 3 will give me -5 because we keep the sign of the greater magnitude. And in hindsight here, we can see that 6 and 35 and 36 doesn't have anything in common. So chances are this is the lowest form in which this fraction will be. All right. All right, so the next question, they're asking us to evaluate the variable expression x minus y for the given values of x equals 5 and 5/8 and y equals 2 and 4/7. So if I was to translate that, it will be 5 and 5/8 minus 2 and 4/7. And remember, as I warned earlier, you don't want to use that method that I use. Not that it's not possible. It's safer. So I'm just going to convert into improper fractions. So this is 45 over 8 minus 18 over 7. I know they're going to be big numbers, but we're going to tough it out. So this is actually my LCM. Clearly, you can see 8 and 7 don't have any common factors. So chances are the LCM is their product, which is 56. So what factors of 45 of 8? That will give me 56. That is missing from 45. That would be 7. And the factor of 7, that will give me 56. That's missing is 8. So let's see what's 7 times 45. And let's see what's 18 times 8. And then we're going to work out our fraction with the common denominator, where they share a common denominator of 56. And again, they were asking for the difference, right? Good. Let's see. All right. So the product of 7 and 45 actually yields 315. And the product of 18 and 8 actually yields 144. And the difference between 315 and 144 is actually 171 divided by 56. Let's see if they have anything in common. I mean, I know that one makes you suspicious that that it's a prime, but still don't take any chances. Let's see what happens. All right, so you can play it safe and say, all right, if that's prime, right? Or when you reduce, not actually reduce because they don't have anything in common. 471 divided by 56 is actually 3, which will give you 168 and a remainder 3 and over 56. So either or is fine by me. I will go in and manually grade your tests. All right, let's move on to the next. Okay, so they're asking to evaluate what look like fraction with exponents, and I love fractions that are in factored form. At least here they're not doing a full Aunt Sally thing where you have to find the sum or difference of anything, where you have to find the LCM. So here it's just a matter of expanding your exponents and prime factoring and canceling common primes if they're available. So here, this is actually 2 times 5 times 5 over 3 times 3, right? I've expanded, right? Squared, right? So this is really 5 nines times 5 nines, right? That's what that is, right? And this is 2 times, I'm expanding, you know what, just for the sake, this is saying I have 3 factors of -3/5. Watch out for your signs. Still take your signs with you, right? So obviously, because I have even powers of negative in this entire product here, my answer is going to be negative. So I like to group all of them to get all the factors together. Or if you can see by hindsight, right here we have, let's see what there's in common. Here we have a factor of 5 here, factor of 5 here, factor of 5 here, and a factor of 5 here that we can cancel. Here we have 2 factors of 3 here, just to cut to the chase, and 2 factors of 3 here. Are there any more factors that we can cancel? Any factors of 2? Because this is actually 2 over 1. Factors of 2. Any factors of 3? Nope. So what are we left with? 2 times negative 3 over 5, right? Yep. So that is 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And 5 times 1 is just 5. So this is our final answer. Yay! So they're taking us back down memory lane again. They're asking you to round off a decimal number to the nearest 10 thousandths. So that is 4. What's going on here? 4 and 820, 445. What is that? Millions? Let's see. So we have here tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000, millions. It is millions, but we don't care about the highest place value it is. We are trying to round to the nearest 10,000. So let's find that spot first. So it's tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. So the digit to the right of it, same rule, is 5 or more. So that's 5. So we actually going to add 1 to our place value digit. So it's actually 4.8205. And then all other digits become 0. But because there's no value of 0 at the end of a decimal, it's just good old 4 and 8,205 ten thousandths. Or 4.8205. Next. So here they're asking you now to evaluate the variable expression x plus y, and they've given the 2 values of x. So they want you to find the sum of x and y, where x is a positive number and y is a negative. So actually this sum actually really turns out to be a difference. So we add them as we subtract as we would do normal numbers. So here we're gonna as they say, borrow. I hate that word. So this is 16. The difference between 16 and 8 is 8. The difference between 4 and 1 is 3. And the difference between 12 and 7 is 5. And the difference between 5 and 1. So because the magnitude, the largest magnitude is a positive number, so my n value would be a positive number. Easy peasy. So just in case you've been tracking, don't worry, but I've been numbering them wrong. Actually, the rounding number was number 38. My last expression was to evaluate was 39. And now I'm going at number 40, which is asking me to convert 1.44 to a decimal. I remember this is the same as saying 1 and 44 hundredths. 1 is the whole number, 44 hundredths. Remember, the cardinal rule in fraction is that you must reduce. So this looks like 4 times 11, and this is 4 times 25, or you could have prime factor them. So the actual answer is 1 and 11 over 25, or 1 and 11 25ths. So that's number 40 for you. Let's see what number 41 is asking. So number 41 is asking to find the quotient of x and y, where x is 0.403 and y is, no, this is a negative actually, and y is 0.31. So be very careful. Since they have opposite sides, we know our final answer will be negative. So this is actually a division problem of decimals. So if I'm going to do a long division of it, it means my divisor has to be a whole number. So I'll have to move this 2 places. So that's 31. And remember, I move my dividend the same amount of places that I move my divisor. So here I move 2 places also. So this is 40.3. So remember, it's okay if your divisor must be a whole number, but it's okay if your dividend is still a decimal. So I'm not going to work this out, of course. You know my style. So you are going to work this out. And actually, the quotient of these two, let's see what we get with that. All right, so the decimal terminates at 1.3, which doesn't seem like a bad thing. Let's see if we can find one factor of 31 and 40, which is obvious, right? So the difference here is 9, right? And I take up the point and bring down the 3, we can actually find 3 factors of 31 into 93. And then the 93, there's no remainder. So the decimal terminate at 1.3. Be careful. Your answer is not 1.3 because you had factors of opposite signs. This was actually negative. So it's negative 1.3. Ooh, we're coming down to crunch time. The things you do for love. And I love you guys. So here they're asked to simplify a radical. That's the square root of 10 plus 26. This is really, really a sweet problem. If we were to combine these two terms, we actually got the square root of 36, which we know that we can find the factor of 6. If we square it, we get 36. So the solution there is 36. And for number 43, not nice, not nice, they provided you with another division of decimal type problem, and they wanted you to round to the nearest hundredths. Round to the nearest hundredths, TH. All right, so of course my divisor has to be a whole number, and I have to move it the dividend the same amount of spaces that I move it to the divisor to become a whole number. So my new expression is 47 is the divisor, dividend is 64.66. Let's see what that's going to look like to the nearest hundredths. So when you work that out, you actually would get something like 1.3. 7 is in the hundredths place and 5 is in the thousands place. So I would stop at the thousands because I have to round to the nearest hundreds, but I need a decimal to the right to compare my hundreds value to see if it goes up or stays the same. In this case, it looks like it will go up because of that 5 in the thousands place. So my new value is 1.38. Double check that to see if I'm correct. And also both numbers were positive, so it stays positive. Let's see what our next question has to offer us. Question 44. So question 44 is actually asking us to find the product of two decimals. One is negative and one is positive. So be careful. My answer will be negative. Remember, I don't believe in working with decimals when it's finding the product. I believe in making them into whole numbers by moving them the amount of times that they need to be moved to become whole numbers. So here twice and here 3 times. So the sum of total decimal places that they were moved was 5. So I'm going to times 176 times 3. 3 6 is 18. 3 7 is 21 and 1 is 22. 3 1 is 3 and 2 is 5. So that's 528. Now I'm going to move it back 5 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. And because I don't have 2 more places to put it, I'll add zeros as placeholders. 4, 5. So my solution is 0.00528. And don't forget, it was opposite sign, so that yields a negative. All right, guys, the last hoorah. Hoorah. Ha ha ha. Asked to solve negative 8x is 27. So here I have the factor negative 8 affecting x from being by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides of the equation by negative 8. So x is equal to 27 over 8. Clearly, they don't have anything in common. This is about 3 factors of 3. And this is 3 factors of 2. You can't cancel anything. The most you can do is probably convert this into a mixed number, which I probably wouldn't advise, right? Because 3 factors of 8 will give you 24 and 3 remaining, right? 24 and 3, 27. This is fine. All right, guys. May the force be with you. If you have any questions, you know how to find me.